Okay, so we've been talking about genetic equilibrium, and we're talking about the factors that disrupt it. And the first one we talked about was mutations, and we had our very long discussion about blue-eyed mutants and getting more genetic diversity in Europe. And now we're going to talk about migration. So when you bring organisms into a population, they bring their genes with them. And do you see this very pretty wolf right here? He is actually from the Yellowstone pack, from one of the packs in Yellowstone. And I will say that when I was a kid, back in the Stone Age, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, you did not see pictures of black wolves. All the wolves I ever saw pictured were browns and grays. And this mutation, somebody somewhere I'm sure has done a paper on, this would be a melanistic wolf. He's got extra melanin. He is dark furred. That is not an uncommon coloration now. That has become more common in the Yellowstone packs, that you have dark wolves, which I never, like I said, they were all sort of browns before. So that, was that a mutation on his part initially? Yeah, it was. But then he is introduced into a population, and then what does he do? He brings his genes with him. You go someplace, you take your genes. You going on a trip? You better pack your genes! Thank you. I need a cymbal that I can crash. Yeah, exactly. So what about when you take individuals out of a population? They take their genes with them. So when individuals emigrate from a population, they take their genes. And what we're really looking at is the effect on the gene pool. So when individuals come into a population, they bring new genes in to the gene pool. And the gene pool is all the genes that exist in the population. Have you heard jokes about the gene pool? Genetic lifeguard. Hey, you, out of the gene pool! Meaning like, never mind. It's a mean thing to say to somebody. It's saying that they shouldn't reproduce. I would never say that to anybody, but biologists have lots of gene pool jokes. Like, the gene pool is so small in that little town, there is no deep end. Meaning everybody's related, which happens. Little tiny villages where they don't mate outside the village, the tiny little gene pool. Tiny little gene pool. When individuals leave a population, they take their genes out of the gene pool. They reduce the diversity of the gene pool. Because that's really what we're looking at, is how many variations of a set of genes exist in the gene pool in a particular place.
Is that why everyone has the same last name as
Well, we don't know what their genes are. Names like Smith are common enough that you can have 100 Smiths and, none of them are related to one another. So does that indicate low genetic diversity? No. But, now, there is one little town, one little crossroads town in Columbiana County. I will not name it. Some of you may be able to guess it. And when I was a kid, my parents always joked about how when they had their Heritage Festival, it was really just a family reunion. And I said, what do you mean? And my dad said, no, seriously. Like, the 12 houses that you see in this little crossroads, and they did. They had, such and such Heritage Day, and it was like a big picnic for the whole town. The entire town was it would have been by that point, great and great-great-grandchildren of a single pair of Italian immigrants who had come, had 8 or 9 kids. Some of their kids stuck around. Those kids had kids. And so this entire little sort of crossroads was mostly family. That's a little gene pool. Now, they obviously married from outside the little tiny crossroads, but that was their little gene pool there. So I want to give you an island. This is a little deserted island someplace with nothing living on it, like a brand new volcanic island, and a couple of birds end up getting stranded on this island. Or, better yet, some fish, some frogs, some lizards, some bugs, whatever. What you have, some Skittles, what you have now is a population on this island. Huh? People who started it. Yeah, the first people there. So on our little island, how did you know I was going to take a picture of your island again? Lucky guess. They're all blue. Look at that. That's so weird. That's so weird. Yeah, those little blue people. So on these islands, I mean, once you've got a population, we assume that they're going to reproduce. They're going to do what biological organisms do, which is stay alive and have babies and try to keep their babies alive. That's the usual. Is the genetic diversity in the gene pools on these islands the same? No. This island has almost no genetic diversity. They're all blue. Whatever the genes are that are controlling for skittle color, these are all blue. This island's got some more genetic diversity. We've got blue and red individuals. And this island has a full complement of genetic diversity. Do you think it's likely that in a couple generations, this island will be as diverse as that island? No. Populations tend to be limited by the amount of genetic diversity in their founding populations, especially for like island populations and small populations. You can eat your islanders now. No, they're all blue. You colorblind?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all blue.
Okay.
They're different shades of blue, but they're all blue. That's called founder effect. If you hate Skittles, you can donate them. Okay, I have a recall quiz for you, which apparently you're going to have to take on Monday. Sorry. Oh, man. Bye.